to Reaper's Candle channel, and today basically, because I've got these book totems out, we are taking a look at what your love story is to your future spouse. So I'll be taking a look at how you guys meet, so that'll be the beginning, how your relationship goes towards the marriage, that'll be your middle, and then how you guys end up getting married, and that'll be your end. So I would like to first send out some subscriber shoutouts before we start meditating and choosing our pile. I would like to thank all the new subscribers that we have, as well as the specific subscribers that I'm seeing because they're public subscribers. So it was thank you to Peridot, B2601, Key Something, and hold on. And Cool Kid Status. Okay, got it. I try to remember these things before I actually make the video because I'm making it on my phone, so I don't have access to the actual notes and stuff. So anyways, yeah. So we are looking into your love story with your future spouse up until marriage. So yeah, take a few deep breaths, meditate, whatever you need to do, and I'll give you a moment to select your pile with this in mind. You can ask the question, what does my love story look like with my future spouse up until marriage? Or how do me and my future spouse end up getting married? Okay guys, so now that you've selected your pile after asking the question, we're going to get started on the readings. Just click on your timestamp in the description box below. And once again, I would like to thank the subscribers. And if you guys like these types of videos, please subscribe for more content. And if any of these readings resonate with you based on the pile that you pick, please give a thumbs up to the video. All right, let's get started. Okay, so pile one. As in the previous readings, I always take a little bit of a look into the totems that you have selected to kind of get a general vibe of the question that we are asking. So you guys selected the book Hogfather, and the main character in this novel is the granddaughter of Death. And Death has to take over for Santa Claus because he's being kidnapped. And then Death's granddaughter has to take over for him, but she ends up helping Death along the way as well. Tries to figure out where Santa Claus is and actually tries to find him, rather than Death's position where he is kind of taking over Santa's position and making sure that Hogs, I believe it's called Hogs Day or something like that, or Hogsmas, takes place without any hitch. So just reading this, the general vibe of this that I'm getting in relations to your love story is I focused on this pot over here, okay, but I also focus on the speed with which the sleigh is shown moving fast, and this whole chaotic, speedy type of energy going on in the book cover. So just by this, I feel like how you and your future spouse end up getting married is a very traditional manner. Either you guys meet through friends, or close friends. Like your best friend helps introduce you to it almost feels like your best friend and their best friend are dating or are in a relationship, and they're trying to kind of hook you up or match you up, and that's how you guys start dating and then get into a relationship. Or it could be for some other people that it's an arranged marriage situation. So not a forced marriage, okay, don't get that wrong. A lot of times, I'm from a Desi culture, and a lot of people think that arranged marriage means that the families are forcing you to get married, but it's not like that. It's very much a situation where two families are coming together to kind of seek a marriage proposal or a suitable marriage. And the two kids end up talking, and if they like each other, then they accept the marriage proposal and they get married and move on with life. And I'm telling you these two options specifically because not only do I see them from the reading, but I also feel that with this amount of like speed, even though the energy over here is very chaotic and speedy, it definitely feels very focused, and the energy is directed in a single direction rather than being all over the place. You know, all of these people are working towards this same goal going over here. So it's definitely that your marriage will take place very quickly. So if you guys are getting married through the arranged marriage like reading, then you guys would meet, instantly like each other, and find a lot of like basic common things, like you guys like the same restaurants or same type of food, you guys have the same hobbies, and your mindset matches. And your personalities are very similar as well. And then you guys would be very willing to accept the proposal that is brought forth within the first meeting when you guys meet, and with your families, of course. And then you guys would just, both sides would confirm that this proposal is something that they want, and your marriage would go on from there. And I feel like you guys would be married like within a week or 2 weeks, something like that. It's not a very long time. And then for the people that I'm seeing meeting through like their best friends that are trying to hook them up or match them up, I feel like when you guys go out, right, I feel like this might be an introduction that takes place at a house party or like a garden party somewhere. And it's a very casual introduction, and then you guys get to know each other and start talking, and you guys, again, find commonalities and feel that you guys feel very calm and very safe and comfortable with this person, and that your personalities and your thought processes match a lot. So it really does feel like you've met your better half. And then within a few months, I'm seeing just 1 to 2 months, you guys are basically engaged and ready to be married. Yeah. Okay, so now let's get to the actual reading part, and we're going to take a look at your beginning of your love story, middle of your love story, and then the end, or how you guys are getting married. Okay? Okay, pile one, so I've drawn the beginning, the middle, and the end of your love story. Okay? And the bottom of the deck, I'm going to say that this would be the personality or who your future spouse is. So with the King of Pentacles, it is someone who is rich, who is stable, who is very grounded, and has a very leadership energy. With the Tower in reverse, I feel like they are also very calm people that don't have quite emotional moments or roller coaster in their life. There's not much of an up and down. They have very small or inconveniences throughout their life, or small happinesses throughout their life, and their life moments overall are very stable. Same with their emotions as well, how they deal with them. And then finally, they're the Ace of Cups. So they are very sensitive and emotional, but they tend not to explode those emotions. They tend to deal with them in a very grounded and patient manner, with a lot of control over their physical reality. Okay? I also want to mention that there is the Queen of Wands underneath. So they could be, with this Ace of Cups showing up, they could not only just be, I feel like they might have like a divine feminine personality on the inside, but a divine masculine personality on the outside. So they're very grounded leadership and masculine on the outside, very calm, but on the inside they have a lot of emotions and a lot of sensitivity towards certain decisions, but because they approach it in such a grounded manner, it doesn't explode all over in their life, and they don't have emotional highs and lows. Their reality is very balanced and harmonized. Okay, so now taking a look at the beginning of your love story with your future spouse. So you got the Fool for the beginning, and right off the bat, I can see that it's going to be a relationship that really feels like you've met your soulmate. It feels like I'm getting like an inner spark or an inner excitement, like kind of like a childish excitement, where the first time you see them or spot them or meet them, you're automatically going to know that this is your future spouse, that this is your husband or wife, whatever you are inclined towards. And it definitely feels very much like a inspirational moment when you set your eyes on them, and it almost feels like there's stars twinkling around them or glitter falling down around you, and you guys are the only ones there. It's very much like a movie scene where you're kind of very much drawn to them because of this internal feeling that you have that just feels right to be with them. Okay? And I can also sense there's also this hopeful energy from you and this very light-headed, romantic type of energy that's coming from you when you guys meet for the first time. I think you're in your meeting for the first time, you may also be a little bit shy because you can see her body is turned away, but she's very much interested, and there's a very much a very light, fairy-like feminine card over here with the Fool. So I feel like you guys may be embodying a divine feminine energy when you guys meet for the first time. And you guys may actually be very shy, and because you're so taken aback, you may actually stumble over your words or not talk as much as you guys are used to. You may also be, in general, a shy, feminine type of person who's very dainty and elegant and very calm, but in a more sensitive type of manner rather than brusque manner like your future spouse. So the middle of your love story is the Temperance card. Okay, so the middle of your love story, I'm focusing in on this water pouring into the lily. And it almost feels like you're pouring all of your emotions in and you're really going with the flow of the relationship and you're enjoying yourself. So you're not too concerned about whether you get married or not because you're enjoying yourself so much, mashallah. That just basically means like by the grace of God. And it's what Muslims say when to prevent like any type of envious eye being placed on someone, and also when they are really proud or happy of something. So they say by the grace of God this happiness or this goodness has come in this world. So mashallah, you guys are really enjoying your relationship with your future spouse, and you are in no rush to get married because you know you will get married very soon. And you guys are just kind of going with the flow. And because you guys are pouring all your emotions and focus into this relationship and just kind of letting things be and enjoying the moment, you guys are going to actually reach heaven or nirvana very quickly in this relationship. Okay? You guys might be doing a lot of water or outdoor sports together. Or going on picnics and things like that. I'm seeing this very calm and balanced, earthy energy. So that might be something that you guys are interested in or you guys consider as fun dates. And you guys try out like maybe kayaking or rafting. Yeah, I'm seeing like a couple going and like couple rafting or couple kayaking in like moderately rough waters. But you're there with like another group, so there are couples around you as well. And yeah, you guys are really just enjoying yourself and doing the things that really kind of allow you to be with them in a fun and happy way, but also to be in the moment rather than something like super duper romantic. So it's really you guys are making moments to look back on as parts of life that were shared with each other. Okay. Now let's look at the end of your love story, or how you guys basically get married. Okay, so the end of your love story. First, we've got the Ten of Pentacles and the stars in reverse. So, with this, I feel like you guys are taking destiny in your hand. And you guys are pouring your... It feels like you guys are pouring your dreams away, but this isn't a negative thing. It's almost like all those perfect or ideal standards that you had, or ideas that you had of what your perfect partner is, or what a perfect relationship could be like, or even what a perfect marriage ceremony would be like. You're just kind of throwing them all away, and you're really controlling your destiny by kind of letting it go through your hand as it will. So you're really accepting whatever is coming at you and forgetting all these specific ideals of what it should be like. And you're accepting what is the best made for you in the universe and what is meant for you. So that's really what I'm seeing. Yeah. And I think with this marriage, you would get a lot of physical abundance in terms of money and wealth. And you would also kind of learn to grow emotionally and mentally and in your physical self as well. Just almost like this relationship gives you a new perspective or a new character to develop. And you become more mature and more grown up as a result. And you become more accepting of what is meant for you rather than what you think is meant for you or what you think should be meant for you. Along with those two cards, we've got the Six of Cups in reverse, okay, for the end of your love story. So this Six of Cups card is pretty distressing. It looks like a girl is kind of like waiting in the rain, very lonely and alone at the same time, very isolated and kind of waiting for her true love to come and, you know, take her, but it doesn't seem like he's ever going to come. But because it's in reverse, I feel like this relationship is a very happy relationship, and definitely, again, you feel like this is the person that you've been waiting for and they finally came into your life and they're going to take you away very quickly rather than you waiting for them and longing for them. I feel like they're going to propose very soon and they will be the first to take the step forward. And it's going to be in a very smooth way, not at all forced and not at all at the wrong timing or something that feels like you are pressured into saying yes or anything like that. It's a very small and sincere gesture at the perfectly right time. I don't even feel like you're going to have to drop hints for this person because this person feels the same way that you do, that he or she has met the match that they have been longing for and looking for and waiting for. And they don't have to wait any longer, and they're just going to take the best opportunity and the right time to propose to you. Okay? And the final card for the end of your story is the Six of Swords. So yeah, again, so it's this very idea that they are taking action towards what they have been hoping and praying for. And this person feels like a sigh of relief or a breath of relief, like finally it's here, it's done. I can finally have what I've been wanting and longing for and what my heart has been aching for. So that's really what's happening. Okay. And in terms of your marriage, I feel like your marriage would be quite lavish, but also very small. So it's not a very small barn wedding, but it's also not a very extremely fancy, hall type of wedding. You guys definitely have close family and friends there. You guys have some maybe close relatives, maybe just a few other people as well there. In like, I'm seeing like either a garden banquet hall or a banquet hall. And you guys have a very nice, medium, expensive wedding. And it's a very fun wedding. It's very um, warm and family oriented. And again, it flows very smoothly and everything feels very sincere and warm and loving in the wedding. Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of white, and it almost feels like it might be springtime or like the beginning of summertime, because I feel like I'm seeing like sunlight and flowers. It could also be in an area where there isn't much of like a winter or a fall. So that could be the reason why I'm seeing this imagery. And I feel like almost like there's like a slightly cool breeze going on as well. And your groom looks really, really happy. I'm seeing more of a man right now for the future spouse, but take it how it is. I'm also seeing the girl very, very happy. So just flip around the roles as you wish, but your future spouse is super duper happy, and so are you. And you guys are both smiling to each other as you're walking down the aisle or looking at each other as you come towards each other to actually marry each other in the procession. And I feel like a lot of like children and like your family members and friends are also like smiling and laughing because you guys are so happy, and they're really enjoying the whole vibe of the event. Okay, pile one, I hope you guys enjoyed your reading, and please do check back for a video in the following week. Have a healthy, curious, and balanced week as always. Bye, guys. Okay, welcome pile two to your reading. So you guys chose the Witches Abroad, and this is, like I told pile one, and in previous readings, you guys may have seen, I used the totem to kind of get a general idea for the reading that I'm doing. So today we're doing the reading for your love story with your future spouse to marriage. So from The Witches Abroad, this is a book about three witches that have to kind of help someone. I believe it is who is it? It's a servant girl. And she... Okay, hold on. What does it say? So they're basically witches that are like gossiping aunties, okay? And they really like to get involved, and they like to make sure that a proper fairy tale story takes place. So there's a servant girl that doesn't want to marry a prince. She wants to kind of make her own independent lifestyle. And then these three witches get involved in trying to make the servant girl marry a prince, okay? So that is kind of like the story that you will have with your future spouse. Because the first thing that I focused on was the frog and this lady over here. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but it almost looks as if she's very shocked but also disgusted at the same time. And I almost felt like she was looking at this frog right here, and this frog is kind of looking towards her. Okay, so just the feeling that I get from that is that you are going to meet your future spouse many times coincidentally. So it is a play of fate. Just like how these witches are kind of dabbling in the love story of the servant girl and the prince, even though the servant girl may not want that, want her like love story to take place with a prince and fall in love and, you know, end up happily ever after. She wants to be more independent, and that may be your personality. You may be a much more independent person, much more self-sufficient and self-sustaining, and you may have your own idea of what a person should be like, and you aim to accomplish that as your own human being, right? Now, from that, I'm getting definitely that you and your future spouse will meet coincidentally many times because of fate, will bring you two together. And the thing is, though, that because you guys are so different from each other, you may not realize that you guys are meant for each other, or you guys will end up dating or getting married. And eventually, you guys will approach each other. I feel like the guy is going to approach you first, and you're going to try to turn them away or turn them down somehow because you guys are so different. And you may not like the way that he is approaching you, or the fact that he is approaching you, or even just the general idea that you may have of what he is like. You may not like that general idea or assumptions that you have made about him. Okay? But somehow you guys will start talking and keep on meeting again and again until you guys actually like start the relationship and like, start hanging out as friends or whatever. And I'm feeling like you guys may meet at the convenience store, you may meet at the club or at a party somewhere. You may meet them, I'm just getting this right now, but it may not be likely, but I'm just going to mention it anyways. You may meet them at a restaurant where you guys are going to eat. Maybe he's paying and you're eating or are almost done eating, and then you spot him. And usually you're with your friends or you're alone doing your daily errands. And yeah, this is a very rebellious type of relationship. Something very unexpected and very driven by fate. And this is a very good change from pile 2. Usually pile 2's readings are a little bit different than the other readings. They're a little bit more somber and tragic, or having difficult situations. And although this is a difficult situation, it doesn't seem like you're completely closed off to the idea of a relationship with this person. It just takes a longer time than the other piles, perhaps. But it'll take a longer time because you guys are so different, and he may think that you're very interesting, but you may think that this person is not someone that I want to even associate with because of the way they look. It gives you certain impressions, and you don't want to associate with that person. But eventually you will respond to their replies, and you are actually going to approach them on the second, well, sure, since it came out of my mouth, second or third time that you guys meet, and just start to like ask what's going on, and then that's how your relationship kind of starts, because you guys may meet on the weekend or something like that, and find out that you guys actually have he's a lot more open-minded than you would think, and you're actually much more of a romantic than he thinks, or that he knows that you are kind of like this, but perhaps he's having doubts a little bit because of the way that you come off, and because you're so independent and self-sustaining. And you have very strong opinions and ideas about people and things. Okay, so now I'm going to get started on the beginning, middle, and end of your love story to marriage. Okay, pile 2, so we have drawn the cards out, and now I'm going to look at your beginning, middle, and end of your love story with your future spouse up until marriage. Okay, so before we get started on that, we are going to actually take a look at the bottom of the deck energies, just to kind of figure out who your future spouse is. Okay, so the overall energy, or the external energy, as I read it for pile 1, over here is 3 of Wands. So I feel like this person is a very hard worker, very sturdy and stable again, and he may actually be more open-minded than you think, and very progressive, and he's always looking to kind of grow further or expand further. And this person may be building their own empire, or building like a business idea or a franchise or something like that, and trying to get rich and get themselves into a position where they have power and they have money, and they can kind of use that money and power to do good. With this 3 of Wands, definitely getting a hard worker energy, and they may also be a very quiet, thoughtful type of person rather than someone who is very active or aggressive in the way that they perceive or proceed with situations and meeting with people. Yeah. And I feel like they have like a lot of big goals and big dreams that they want to accomplish, and they tend to stay focused on those goals and dreams. Yeah. Okay, and then just below that, there is the card of Temperance. So matching with that hardworking energy, they're very patient. And like I said, this person is a very visionary and very hardworking and very quiet, soft-spoken type of person. So they may have a very feminine type of energy on the outside, or what we may consider a nerdy type of energy on the outside, right? Think like, even when I was reading like just the general vibe of how you guys meet, the first thing that I saw was at a convenience store. You guys are both checking out and you guys look at each other and your eyes meet, and you guys kind of look each other up and down. I feel like he looks more at your face and you kind of look more at his like clothes. And the clothes he's wearing are like khakis and like blue collar shirt. It's made of cotton, and he's got like business casual type of look going on, and he's got a vest, like a white sweater vest going on, and that is definitely the vibe that I'm getting here. He may even have like 70s or 80s type of glasses that he wears, but I was seeing more of his face, so that could be something that he wears not that often, but more so when he's reading or he's working. So yeah, on the outside, he looks very soft-spoken, very gentle and fragile, and definitely not as definitely not a bad boy type, which I feel like with your aesthetic is coming off more as grunge and punk or rock. So you wear like dark leather boots, big chunky boots with like maybe fishnet stockings and a mini skirt, and then striped long sleeve shirt that goes all the way to your fingertips, and you've got like smoky eye, maybe not a smoky eye, but like thick eyeliner makeup, and you've got the medium length or shoulder length hair that's kind of it's not really wolf hair, but it's kind of like that, where it's got very sharp layers in it. Yeah, so like I said, you guys look the total opposite of each other. So that's one of the reasons why you think he may not match your style, because he looks so bookish. But he is very confident in himself, and he's not insecure in any way, and he's actually pretty fun to hang out with once you get to know his personality. And then right on the inside, you can see this 9 of Swords. So he may be, again, because he is a big dreamer and a visionary, he is very much concerned with the details of any project that he takes on or anything that he does. And again, he looks more at the facts and the logic of the matter. So that's why he doesn't prejudge you based on how you look. He actually finds you very attractive and very interesting. And like I said, he's not even looking at your clothes. He's looking more at your face, and I feel like he's looking at your eyes because he wants to see the inside of your soul and the trueness of your personality rather than whatever you are projecting on the outside. And right underneath is the Lovers. So this could be, again, the idea that you guys aren't really meant for each other or aren't perfect for each other, but with the Cupid, and I'm focusing more on this angel, it's meant to be. And this card is coming right above the Wheel of Fortune. So again, this idea that you're kind of being manipulated by this snake of like what people look like on the outside, and you're prejudging them based on that. But this is a divine relationship. So you guys are fated to be. So if you remove this snake and this visual manipulation that's going on because of preconceived judgments or assumptions or the first impression, you guys are actually meant for each other, and you guys actually suit each other. And your romanticism matches his openness of mind. Okay, so now we're going to actually look at your cards. So the beginning of your love story with your future spouse to your marriage point. Okay, yeah. So the beginning is, Yeah, this is the convenience store situation is arising up again. It almost feels like you guys are going to meet at the convenience store. And again, like I said, you guys are both checking out. And it feels like he's checking out something that he needs. Like, it feels like he's checking out a lighter, but not cigarettes. But he may have them in his pocket. And then on the other side, you are checking out like 2 bags of chips. I'm seeing like Lay's and maybe like a green bag of chips. Like, I don't think it's sour cream and onion. I feel like it's dill pickle, but they're both kind of shiny bags. Maybe one of the green one might be like Miss Vicky's or something. Like, it's got a little bit of a matte to it. But anyways, the point is that you are checking out chips, and you guys both look at each other as the cashiers are kind of checking the things out. You guys don't even see what you guys are actually checking out until somehow you guys end up breaking the contact because the cashier calls or tells you guys your bills. I feel like the cashier tells you your bill, and so that's how the contact gets broken. And then you pay, and you kind of leave, but you look back at him, and then leave. And this person gets distracted once you turn to pay, and he looks at what you're buying, and then he looks at what he's buying, and then you leave, and he ends up paying and looking at you to like as outside of the convenience store window, through the convenience store window as you walk toward your car or whatever. This could be a convenience store that's connected to like, or a gas station convenience store. It could be one of those things. But yeah, I'm seeing basically you guys meet at this convenience store, and the reason you guys are meeting is he's stressed from work, perhaps, which is why he's buying a lighter for his cigarettes. And then he has to go back to the office because he's working late night or something. And then you are coming to buy chips because perhaps you may have had a recent breakup that you're not completely over yet, so you're just kind of like weaning off the junk food and stuff. I feel like it might have been like a week or so since your breakup, and or it could also be, it doesn't feel like you're super heartbroken, but it definitely feels like you are a little bit hurt. So you're still going through kind of like a healing process at this time, and you're still kind of thinking about your previous relationship. And it feels like you're stressed out because of that, or you're just reflecting upon that relationship and that person, which is why you kind of come to get some chips to eat while you watch a movie at home. Yes. So the beginning of your love story basically starts off with you guys meeting at points in time when you guys are both stressed and thinking about the things that you kind of hold dear. For him, it's maybe a project that he's working on, or something to do with his work. And for you, it's something to do with your emotional relationships and how your life is going in general. So now moving on to the middle of your love story. So now the middle of your love story with the Justice card, it basically tells you to be fair to this person, because this almost feels like the middle of your love story is like when you guys meet for the second time. So it almost feels like you guys are meeting someplace where your friends are as well. And it could be that you guys are meeting in a place where a lot of different people are there, like a park or a picnic, something like that. So you're hanging out with your friends, and then you spot them a little bit away, hanging out with their co-workers, perhaps. It feels like they're talking to someone about doing work, and they're kind of flailing their hands about to show them how exactly the design or something is supposed to be. And then you guys are just, enjoying, like, I don't know, eating a sandwich or a popsicle or something and talking with your friend. And you see them, and he also sees you, but he's working, so he can't really approach you. So you approach him with your friend, like approach his area, and you see he keeps on looking back at you, and you guys keep on making eye contact. And you guys are definitely both interested in each other, because this is like the second time you guys are meeting out of the blue without even knowing each other. And it's very like coincidentally funny, right? But I feel like after he's done explaining whatever he was to his coworker, he keeps on looking at you, you keep on looking at him, but you're still kind of like still strolling in the area. I feel like you guys get a little bit slower in your stroll. And your friend notices that you're looking back at this dude, and this person notices that you keep on looking back, and you guys keep on making eye contact. So then he approaches you and introduces himself, basically. So he introduces himself, basically, and then that's how. And you're kind of confused by his gesture because, again, you're an independent, self-sustainable woman, and again, your first impression of him wasn't like someone that's secure or strong or confident in themselves, and that could be kind of like a red flag to you. So you're kind of taken aback at first, but then he cracks a joke, and something along the lines like he's not a scary person or he's not being creepy or anything like that, and you kind of laugh at it because it's a little bit funny. Not super hard laugh, but it does crack a smile on your face, and then you kind of extend your hand towards him and introduce yourself. Your friend at this point has backed off a little bit and is kind of enjoying the moment with you two, because she can see that you guys are kind of getting off on the right foot and you guys are vibing. And then she kind of nudges you to introduce her as well, and or she introduces herself to him. And then you guys, that's how you guys start talking, and you try to figure out what he's doing there, and he talks about the night that you guys saw each other in the convenience store, and that what a coincidence or what type of fate it is to kind of meet again over here, even though you guys have only seen each other once, and it's just funny or weird, something like that. But this justice card is basically telling you to be fair. Be careful, of course, and that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to be very careful in the way that you approach this person and very slow to opening up to him. But because you guys are meeting so often coincidentally, you will eventually start to feel comfortable with this person, and this person will make you feel comfortable because of how confidently he approaches you and kind of diffuses the tension whenever he's talking to you, because he can sense that you're kind of like trying to back off from him a little bit, because of course he's a stranger and his vibe may be something that could be kind of creating a tension because of the way he looks, and your first impressions of him are kind of creating like a little bit of a tense awkwardness. But he diffuses the situation very well, and basically you give him a chance, and you also take a step forward towards him and start to become friends or hang out a little bit more often. You guys don't hang out that often, but it's like you guys are meeting up once or twice a month to kind of just hang out for some coffee or go on and do some bowling with like friends or something like that. And then finally, the end of your story is he is going to offer you a lot of happiness. So he's got the house going on. He's making your dreams of what like an ideal partner should be come true. He's also giving you a lot of family abundance, so a relationship abundance. So you're not only with him, you find a family that is very comforting and open and warm and loving, and with that you also find like a group of friends that are also very welcoming and open to you. Definitely he's got the animals as well. I feel like he may have a dog or a cat, or he may have both, and you really love both as well. I feel like you're more of a cat person, but you guys love animals in general. But yeah, and then he's got all his wealth, and now this cloth looks like silk to me. So again, this very much feels like silk is also like a type of abundance or wealth. So it definitely feels like he's offering you all he has to give to you, and he turns out to be the ideal partner that you wanted, and he's giving you everything that a husband would give their wife. And you're kind of a little bit shocked, but you're also happy, and you're very fulfilled with the situation. Um, yeah. With the marriage, I actually feel this is a very traditional marriage, but it's small. So you guys are going to get married at a church. You're actually going to be having a look that's a lot more gentle and a lot more natural when you get married, because it's almost as if he's rubbing off on you a little bit in terms of like the type of personality that he has. It's very patient and soft spoken, and that kind of rubs off on you a little bit, and you become much more soft spoken and patient as well. Whereas, or even like someone that is willing to rely on a partner that they love, and build a connection of equality based on that. Like a back and forth reliance, right? You rely on him and he relies on you. So a support system. And then on the other hand, you rubbed off on him a little bit. So he's actually much more confident, and he seems to be wearing a black tuxedo. So it's almost like you guys influence each other and affect each other into becoming like into kind of matching each other's vibes and styles, and becoming better partners for each other. But your inner personalities already match each other. So there isn't that much growth in there, but you guys do develop each other's personalities and really support each other, and fulfill the proper duties and responsibilities of a wife and a husband. I feel like you guys actually may come from a religious background, which is why you have such a romantic ideal of what a husband and wife should be like, or what a partner's relationship should be like. And that follows you through in this marriage. Yes, and it feels like it's a very you're smiling at the marriage. Um I'm also seeing that the groom is approaching the bride. So the bride is waiting at the altar for the groom, and the groom approaches you. Um it's a very cute spin to the processions, but you've got your close friends and your family there, and that's basically it at the church. And then you guys step out, and you guys have the rice thrown on you, and then you guys go off to live happily ever after. And you guys are both giggling and cuddling with each other in the car. So it's a very, it's almost like a 60s or 70s type of wedding, where it was just close friends and family, simple dress, natural look. And then you guys get in the car and go towards your newlywed home. Okay, pile two, I hope you guys enjoyed your reading, and I hope you guys have a blessed, wonderful, curious, happy, and healthy week. Bye, guys. Okay, pile three, welcome to your reading. So you guys chose the soul music book, and as with other piles and other readings, I used the totem to kind of get a general reading of the question that I'm asking. So today we're asking, what is your love story with your future spouse up until marriage? And because you guys picked this book, I'm going to do a general reading based on this. So this book is basically a coming of age story about Death's granddaughter in this world, in this Discworld. And it takes place in a setting of like a rock and roll type of setting. So music is coming out, but she also has to learn as a 16-year-old what her responsibilities are, and learning to grow up and take over the family business, which she will have eventually to take over. But also a case of mistaken identity because she doesn't look like death. It's a little bit for her to discover herself on how to present herself so that people don't think that she's someone else. and that she is really there to do Death's job. So with relation to your love story, it is kind of like the plot of this novel. It's very much a coming of age story and very much a learning to grow up and learning to become more mature type of a love story. The first thing that I focused on when I was looking at the cover of this novel was this town in the background. So this is the capital where everything takes place, usually in the Discworld novels. And I don't remember what it's called, but it's basically like the main or the biggest city in the Discworld. So just looking at this, it felt almost very magical, that your love story is going to be very much like a fairy tale. And it may move slowly at the beginning in terms of like actually getting into the relationship, like trying to get to know each other and all that stuff, like, or becoming aware and recognizing that you guys actually love each other, or, you know, have feelings towards each other, because you're so focused on growing up and maturing. So you're gonna actually go through a process of maturing and figuring out who you are with this person beside you. So this person could be very much a friend or a mentor or someone that you see on a regular basis, but you're focused on yourself at this moment. Then once you finally figure out who you are, and that's when you kind of start realizing how special or important or valuable this person is and the feelings that you have towards this person. So the feeling part is going to happen very quickly and instantaneously, and you may actually be confused for a little while because you didn't see them that way before, but now all of a sudden, because you have matured and grown up a little bit to knowing who you are and what you want from life and from the people that you want to get into a relationship with, you realize that this person is actually good for you, and this is the type of person that you've been looking for all your life, right? Now I feel this pile has been picked by quite young people, so your life may not be that long right now, but inshallah you will have a longer life. Amin summa amin. Basically this is a very youthful type of story that I'm seeing here. And the end result will be, once you guys realize your feelings, and then once you kind of realize, okay, well, I have to, you know, tell them how I feel, and you tell them, they accept it, then you guys are going to start dating, and it's going to be very much teenage type of love. So, you know, like a first love type of feeling, and or what people call the honeymoon phase of a relationship. And it's going to be very enjoyable and very lighthearted, very romantic and cute. And then eventually, though, because I feel like you guys that pick the pile are young, like maybe in your 20s, and you're still working on becoming established as a human being and completing your own dreams and goals in terms of life and accomplishments, maybe even career or studying, your relationship will actually proceed towards marriage slowly. So you guys are still going to date, and you guys are going to have a normal relationship for probably 3 or 4 years. And then once you have accomplished the goal that you wanted to accomplish as your own independent self, then after that you guys are going to get married within 1 or 2 months. Okay? So it may feel like a long time, but you guys are young right now. You guys are doing other stuff. You guys have to learn to grow up further before you end up, before you both decide that it is a time for marriage now. Okay, but yeah, you guys are going to have a very much like a Disney princess type of story, and I'm kind of seeing Tangled. Tangled keeps on coming up in my mind, how Rapunzel is, and I believe she's also 16 in that film, and she also has to kind of learn how to grow up and take charge of her dreams, but then she ends up falling in love with the person who's helping her out and who's there, but she doesn't really recognize that that's the person that she is meant to be with, or that she is going to marry. And then obviously at the end of the movie, they don't really get married, right? They get married in that short animation that Disney released afterwards. So they are dating and they are together, but they get married when she is of age. So it's the same type of concept over here. Okay, so now we are going to take a look at the beginning, middle, and end of your love story to marriage. Okay, pile 3. So I've pulled out your cards, and this is the beginning of your love story, middle, and end of your love story with your future spouse up until marriage. Now, the overall deck or card energy that I have is going to be kind of giving you an idea of who your future spouse is. Okay, so I'm seeing this person is very balanced with the Two of Coins. I feel like they protect or save up a lot of their money. They don't have any qualms about spending it, but they do save up a lot of their money and don't spend it lavishly on things that they don't need. And they love to travel and adventure, and that may be one of the things that they save up for. So they have a personality that really holds true to the quote, working to live rather than living to work. So they save up a lot of their money, and they're very much practical when they're saving up their money. And then they go on like 2 or 3 month long vacations or short trips where they spend all the money that they've saved up to have the time of their life or to have fun. Okay? Now, coming right under that is the Lovers card. And from this, the first thing that I focused on was Snow White's red apple. And this could be a depiction of Adam and Eve, peace be upon them. And I say that because in Islam, Adam is a prophet and Eve is, we call them BBs, but I'm like, I guess you could call her like a female saint, or I guess you could call her a female saint, but she's basically a holy female person in my religion. So whenever there's a holy person mentioned, we send blessings upon them. So that's what peace be upon them means. But basically, the thing that I was seeing is that this person is very gentle. They work well together with people, and they're very positive, and the feeling that I get from them is someone who is like a young college or university student that works in like the business administrative department or is studying business, and they could be studying science as well, like biology or something like that. And they're also involved in a lot of extracurricular sports, and maybe they even volunteer for charity or something like that. They do 2 or 3 things, but it's something that they're happy to do, and they like to spend that time meeting people and socializing with people in a very kind and sincere, gentle manner. But yeah, because I was after the apples, I was focusing on the hands. So this person is someone who is very gentle, very has warm hands, and has a warm personality. So on the outside, they're very much a practical person. It's almost like a fatherly energy that I'm getting from them. They're a very practical person that loves to save so that they can go on adventures, and then they have all the fun that they want and they don't worry about the money. But when they're working, they're very practical in saving up the money. And in their daily life, they're very much involved with the community and with their friends and any type of social enterprises that not only impact the community nicely, but also give them a lot of happiness and passion because their interests are matched up well in those activities. For example, someone may like to play football or race or something, and they may be on like a racing team or a cross-country team for the university, something like that. And they're very youthful and very bright and positive on the outside. Now, on the internal side, they are, again, kind of supporting what they're like on the outside. They're very active and energetic, And with the Chariot energy on the inside, they're very much, they could be sometimes be impulsive, because once they set their mind to accomplishing something, they just go for it. They don't take any excuses, and they accomplish their goals very quickly because of this passionate and energetic energy that they have inside. And because of this energy, they can be inflexible a little bit because they're just kind of focusing on the goal and they're just going for it. But their body itself is very flexible with the cats here. And it's very strong, and it has a lot of stamina and endurance. So even if a goal takes a little bit longer than what a normal person would expect to take, they don't find that they don't find it as a straining or an impatient circumstance. They are really just going towards that goal with this passion and energy, and just until the goal is complete. So they're not even they don't even have a time frame in their mind. All they have is, I need to finish this goal. And with the Hierophant energy underneath, that just basically amplifies this Chariot energy, which is, again, they're impulsive. They don't really have a mind state of, I need patience to follow through with this goal. No, they decide on a goal and they just follow through with it, no matter how long it takes. To them, it's not a matter of time, it's a matter of accomplishment. Okay, so now the beginning of your love story. So, the beginning of your love story is the Eight of Cups. So right off the bat, it almost feels like you spot them first. And it may be when you are kind of hanging out on the bleachers, and you may be having lunch alone or with one of your close friends that you know from childhood or from high school, and basically your best friend. And you may be looking at them on the field, and you feel attracted to them or interested in them. And your friend kind of helps you to go forward and ask for their number or their Instagram, something like that. And that's how you guys will start actually your love story. I feel like within one or two texts, you guys are actually going to kind of unofficially establish the relationship, because you're definitely interested in them and they are interested in you. But you guys won't know, you guys won't really say to each other that you guys love each other or anything like that. You guys are just kind of testing the waters, I guess. He is very happy that you approached him, and he is interested in you, and you are kind of still figuring out whether you like him because of him or whether you should date him, by talking to him through this communication method. I'm also seeing his house, or just this house, but it could be that you guys are either meeting at a university that is very old or ancient looking, and it's almost like a castle, kind of like Trinity University in Ireland, or any of the old Oxford University or anything like that. Or it could be a modern university but just has a really big campus, maybe Harvard, or I'm hearing University of Windsor, but that's that I don't know why, but it's there. And I think that happened last time in Pile 3 too. In one of the readings, Windsor popped up for some reason. But anyways, the university that you guys are meeting at is a very big campus, or it could be that you guys are meeting at his house very often, or where he lives. But his house isn't that big. He shares it with roommates, but he lives off campus, I feel like. And then eventually, once you get to know him more comfortably, you may invite him once in a while to your apartment or your dorm. It feels like you guys live on campus in a dorm and they live off campus with other guys or with other roommates. I feel like it's a guy's dorm, but off campus. Okay, so that's how you guys get to know each other. And then the middle of your love story. So I kind of want to flip it like that. So the middle of your love story, you've got the 6 of coins. So this is basically you guys are both working on your goals in terms of career, finance, setting, whatever. So your physical reality goals. And this could be the moment when you guys realize that you guys like each other in a romantic way. And it may be a little bit difficult for you to accept your feelings and for him to accept the situation. Now, I'll tell you why. So he has difficulty accepting the situation because he doesn't know if you're truly interested in him or not. Because you haven't made any sort of clear indication towards that. You guys don't meet super often. You guys don't go on dates or anything like that. And I think he's waiting on you to give him a sign, like a clear sign that you're romantically interested in him and not just, as a friend, and that you're not just, talking to him still as a trying to get to know you type of a deal. And because you approached him first for his Instagram or his number, I think he's also waiting for you to give him a clear sign that you are interested in him in a romantic way and in physically, rather than just, talking to him to get to know him. Because that's not really a clear sign. And I know girls a lot of the time think that, oh, well, I'm talking to him, so that should be a clear sign. But it's not really a clear sign until you actually, start sending him emoticons that are clear. Or once you start, maybe sit down and ask him what are his intentions towards you. Or do you guys think that you should start dating? Something like that. You could do it in a shy or humble manner or a feminine manner if that's your personality. You don't have to be super straightforward about it, but you can definitely ask him questions to see if he's interested. And then if he is, he would obviously respond back with a clear answer, because the question that you're asking would imply that you are interested in him. That's why you're asking him. Like, when someone asks, like, oh, do you have a girlfriend? Or if someone asks, do you have a boyfriend? That clearly shows the other person that you're, if not completely, at least somewhat interested in having a relationship of that sort with them. So it kind of gives them some hope or some encouragement to ask the question themselves. So yeah, I think he's waiting on you to give a clear sign or ask a question that shows somehow that you are romantically interested in him and confirm your feelings. And for you, it could be a matter of, should I, continue this relationship, or is this the person meant for me? So you might be a little bit confused because your relationship with him as a friend is actually really nice and fun and good, but you don't have that, you don't have that, I guess, extreme happiness feeling when you think about being in a relationship with him, or when you're with him, I would say. Yeah. More likely when you're with him, you don't have this extreme happiness that you think would happen when you're in love with someone. So you're getting a little bit confused because of that. But don't let that confuse you. You're just thinking too logically and not with your heart right now. Also, because you guys, most of the people who pick this pile are young, you may not know what true love feels like. From my perspective, true love makes you feel calm and safe and comfortable. You don't get this elated feeling. That's more of like having a crush, You feel all giddy inside, but then it wears out eventually. I think with true love, I mean, you guys have your own opinions, but for me, true love is something that makes you feel safe and comfortable, and like, this is a person that I am willing to spend the rest of my life with, and I won't ever get, I won't ever have these worries of I'll get bored or I'll get tired of them or anything like that. You just think just living a daily life with them, having breakfast with them, going to work, coming back and chilling with each other would be just the ideal lifestyle for us as a couple or as a partner. So something like that. And because you're thinking too logically about matching him up with your idea of what love is like or what love should feel like, you are getting a little bit confused in that aspect. You may also be holding off the decision a little bit because you're confused about whether you can have both your career and your love at the same time. And I'm going to say that you can have both at the same time. It just depends on how you manage and prioritize the things. Approach a relationship with normal and grounded feelings. Don't approach it with, like, this is the only thing that matters, or I have other things that matter more than just being in a relationship. Don't approach it with those two extremes. Approach it in a mannered way where, yes, love matters, but also my life matters as well. So we have to balance the things. Give attention to the person that you love, but also make sure that they understand that you have other priorities that you also need to fulfill sometimes that may come in the way of certain events or certain things. And if they understand that and they're willing to, compromise and work with you on those things, then great. But yeah, you're basically kind of stuck with this mindset that should I focus only on my career right now and then just see how this relationship pans out? Or should I, explain my feelings to this person, but then that might, hurt me because he might say no, which he most likely will not, because he is actually interested in you and he likes the relationship that you guys have as friends even. And even if he says no, he's not going to let that come in between your friendship. Okay? He's a very kind and gentle person, and even if he says no, he's gonna say no in a very gentle manner, and not make a big deal out of it. And you're going to actually feel comfortable if he says no. Like, it's not going to be something like devastating, But don't worry about that because he will say yes, he's interested in you as well. But yeah, just basically you're overthinking the thing. But eventually, you basically just need to give him a clear sign, and then he will take opportunity of that and ask you out on a date, even a small date, but he'll ask you out. Okay, and then finally, the end of your love story is the Two of Cups. So you guys do come together, and again, I would like to mention the fact that most of the people who pick this pile are young. So the end of your love story with your future spouse up until marriage is basically you guys learn to grow and build together. So you guys are definitely dating, and you guys support each other and help each other out in terms of your own career goals and your life goals. And for example, if he's having a difficult time studying a certain subject or managing his time and all the responsibilities that he has, you kind of help him out by giving him a tutorial on the subject or tutoring him on it. Or you help out with maybe volunteering at one of his charities, and working with him so that, you guys can both spend time together, but also so that he can work less at those charities or, spend less time in certain extracurriculars because you guys both are putting in the 2 times effort, right? So then that way it decreases the amount of time that he has to be there alone. And I feel like you guys end up doing a lot of things together and learning a lot together and basically, yeah, just growing your life together. And eventually, once you graduate, you are going to get married within 1 or 2 years after you guys have kind of settled down into your careers. And I feel like you guys may start living together before you actually end up getting married. Or for the people who are kind of against that idea of living together, you may meet with each other on a quite regular basis or work at the same place after school, after you've completed your studies and graduations. Yeah, basically you guys are just moving ahead in life with each other. Yeah, and then once you get married, your marriage is going to be very sweet and simple. It's going to be just, it's going to be a very economical wedding or a low budget wedding where you guys kind of get married in the garden or a park with just your close family and friends. It's going to be a very simple and sweet marriage, and you guys will buy a house together and move in together, and then from there on, you may even start renting like the lower portion of the house to get more extra income coming into the house, or get into property investments, or renting out certain properties after a while. And yeah, so basically that's your reading, pile 3. I hope you guys enjoyed the reading, and yeah, I hope you guys have a happy, healthy, and curious, balanced week. Bye, guys.